Hello there, everyone, and welcome to today's July chess tournament. Now, if you haven't seen the last two chess tournaments, let me tell you what happened. Basically, we are doing chess tournaments all throughout the summer of 2023, and today we will be doing July's. Every winner of the tournament will be put into a tournament's bracket. And at the end of the summer, we will have all of the champions of the tournaments battle against each other to claim the ultimate Pleasant Summer Chess Victor. Victory? I don't know. You're the best chess player, basically. So I hope you all enjoy. Please have a pleasant rest of your day. Thank you, everyone who joined on this chess tournament. Make sure to like and subscribe. Sorry I haven't been uploading lately. I've been busy with a bunch of HSL stuff, which you can check out on my channels list and probably in the shorts. I do stream a lot, though, so if you have Twitch, make sure to check it out. Link in the description, as always. And, of course, we got Discord. Go check it out. Super fun. All right, with that being said, let us begin today's tournament. We have the first game of our July chess tournament, GSSU from Britain, going up against Gordon Chess from Serbia. I definitely knew that. We got the King's Pawn opening. Never mind the Italian game. These games go by really fast, so please excuse me if I say any wrong moves or if I use, the wrong person's color or whatever the heck. So this is all going very fast, but honestly, solid opening from both players, I think. Not too bad. The king cannot take because of the bishop here on c4. There is a little bit of an elo distance. Sure. Let's check out the trade. The queen was taken. Whoa. That's a blunder. Wow. Gordon is just taking all the pieces on GSSU's side. Oof. It is not looking good so far, but do not worry. You always got to trust the process of a chess player. The queen heads over to h5, checking GSSU's black king. It doesn't look good? No, it does not. Okay, we got a advancement of pawn on the d file. A pawn going up to d3. Trying to threaten the knight right here. I can obviously see it, but what's the best move? I don't know. 200 elo difference from both players. So obviously there is a slight challenge on GSSU's side. Oh my gosh. Gordon is just taking all of the pieces from GSSU here. I mean, will this game even last 20 moves? I don't know. Let's get a replay though. So the queen goes for a check. Obviously the pin, and black couldn't do anything, so the rook is just gone. And now we have the bishop heading over to g5. The knight heads over to b7. Gordon to the finals? Yeah. Well, maybe. I don't know. GSSU might have the best comeback in chess history. We got to check it out. White castles. The knight heads over to d6. The queen heads down, trapping black's king on the 8 file. I don't even know if that's the correct way to say it. 8 file. On the 8 thing. And we got to check from the rook. The king, it's getting a little packed in here. I think we might have a checkmate in a couple of moves. The only way for no checkmate is blocking. The king cannot move anywhere. And it was blocked from the bishop on c8. And the bishop was took with the rook. And then the bishop heads over here from f8 to e7. I think the queen's going to take, and that... Huh? I'm pretty sure that would have been checkmate, but I guess not. It looks... Huh? Wait, hold on. So, we have missed checkmate, and now a blunder of the rook. Oh, no, because of the knight. Oh, you're right. I completely forgot about the knight. The queen could not have taken because the knight on... That's a good observation. Thank you. I did not even see that. Wow. Rook takes would have been cooler. So true. So true. Checkmate in 21 moves. Now we have the game. Ratatouille versus 1. Now, 1 is about, I just started sacrificing everything. Yeah, probably not the best, procedure on how to do stuff. But hey, we have our games. So, the ELO difference from Ratatouille and 1 is like 600. Ratatouille is almost at 1,000, like 5 ELO off from 1,000, but it's either going to be really close or a complete massacre. So we'll just see. Game 2. I played 1 and he's so tough to beat. Yeah, we got... Oh, wow. These players are going real fast, so let's just check this out. We got the Kings opening once again in the Italian game. I guess the Italian's very popular for the July chess tournament. Very interesting. Did I say interesting already? I don't know. If y'all don't know the lingo of interesting... My first game, I probably said interesting 30 times. That was like my first ever commentary event. So I'm like, very interesting, very interesting. So if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong here, what is knight h6? Oh wait, I don't even know. It's a move to get the knight out, I guess. Probably going here that's just my guess. I don't know lines in this theory, neither do I. Honestly, the Italian isn't really my type of game. I'm more of a Scandinavian guy myself, but hey, all the openings are fairly decent. So I'm pretty sure last round on the June tournament, 1 was not really good at checking his time. I mean, I could be thinking of the wrong player here, but he spent like 2 minutes on a move and then he ran out of time and it was just a scramble at the end. So 1 really has to check the moves, make sure that he has enough time and to do what he needs to do. Yeah, we blitzed and it was crazy. Yeah, I actually literally had to leave for work. That was like one of my first days of work. We got a trade with the knight and bishop on the h6. By the way, both players are from France. So we have a battle of the French members here. He played well, but too slow. Exactly. 1 is a very, very good player. I keep on saying very, but I'm going to do it. He's a good player. I mean, 1641 ELO is not bad. It's really good, actually. But he's just got to make sure that the timing is right so that he can make the moves he needs to make with enough time on the clock. Obviously, bishop trade. We got the pawn advancing. Well, chess is very interesting. Truly, I think chess is one of the best games of all time. Like, of history. Like, a couple hundred years ago, the only people who really played chess were royals. Royalty literally played chess. And everyone else wasn't really allowed to or didn't even know how. Okay, we got a trade of the knights. Ooh. Ratatouille is up by 1 right now. It's not much, but it's work. Quite interesting. Puzzling indeed. Ah, yes, puzzling. Okay, the queen takes the pawn. And then we have the rook sliding over here to f8. Extraordinary indeed. or military generals. True. Chess was very, like, high ranking at the time. Like, if you knew how to play chess, you were considered smart. Now, is chess a game for smart people? That's a very debatable question, but I'll say yeah, because you got to take a lot of strategy to know chess. It takes a smart person to be good at chess. It takes any person to play chess. That one move took 1 minute and 14 seconds to do. I'm not saying it's a bad move. I think it's not terrible move. Potential queen trade. But that's only if takes. If take, then take, then take. Unless there's something else with, like, take, then here, then blunder, and then here. I don't know. I don't know. Summer tournaments are mainly just rapid games, which are 10 minutes. Whoa! We got a check! Whoop, whoop! Let's check it out. We got a check over here. The king can have the ability to move over to f7, and the king does exactly that. I don't know. I was thinking a queen trade. I don't think a queen trade is too good right now. Both players are tied. I don't really think it makes sense for a queen trade. I mean, it could happen, but you don't really want to lose your queen. Ooh. Oh, boy. Less than 6 minutes left on the clock for one. And we got a check with the queen. Whoa! Let's get a replay on that. The king heads back to e8, and the queen instantly takes the pawn in a second. And now black's queen heads over to d7. I think my favorite tournament, honestly, was last month's tournament. I forgot the game. I honestly did, but it was a really, really good game. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite chess games I've ever seen. And that's saying a lot. You guys should check out my last two tournaments I did in May and June. And I'm doing another one in August. And obviously, we have the Champions Tournament in September, which is going to be incredibly interesting to watch. Whoa. If bishop takes pawn, rook head over here, and we got a pin. Okay. Queen takes the pawn, and then the rook heads over to e1. The rook heads down to f6, threatening the queen on h6. Always gotta get fancy when it comes to chess. The queen takes the pawn on h7. I don't know. I see white has a really good move right here, which is okay. Let's just get a replay on that because I was talking about some moves. We got the king head over to d7, and then the rook immediately heads over to d1, pinning the queen to d6 because the queen can't move. If the queen moves anywhere, it's putting the king in check, and you can't do that. You obviously can't. The Hufflepuff tie is a good tie for the shirt. I didn't even know this was Hufflepuff. Apparently, this is a Hufflepuff shirt. You already know. Woo! I don't know. I thought that would be way cooler. We got the rook hand over to f8. And then, wow! Whoa! Hold on! That happened so fast. Let's just get a replay on that. The queen is taken by white's rook. And then the king takes back. And then the knight goes for the pin, which I was talking about earlier. And then the king moves. And then the rook is taken. And then the knight is taken. And then the queen gives a check. And then the king moves. And then the pawn gives a check. Whoa, boom, boom. This series of events. Bow, 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 bow. So fast. The players are playing pretty well, I'd say. However, one is up by 8. I think that queen loss was terrible for black's Black's chance of winning. We got check with the queen. The king heads over to c7. The rook heads over. Are we going to get a ladder mate? I think we might. Ooh, I don't know. It's going to be a little bit tricky, though. Black advances the pawn on to b6. Sorry. We got the queen check on d7. Check. A little bit of a pin. And the rook is taken. Whoa. This is huge for white right now. This is gigantic. The bishop heads over here. The rook goes up, checking the king, which has to retreat to a6. I think, yep, we got a queen hand over here to c8. King heads down. The rook heads over. We are getting really close to a checkmate right here. The queen heads down to g4. The king heads over to c3. I think the best chance for black right now, obviously it's going to be difficult to take the queen, but maybe time is in his favor because obviously it's almost a minute up. So we got white trying to check with the queen as much as possible. White's pawn heads up. Ooh, nice. If it would be a trade, it would basically be like checkmate in like 4 moves. We have the rook headed all the way over to h7. We got the pawn headed up. I think pawn's going to go right here. Never mind. The king heads down to a2. Queen heads up to d3. Maybe, no, that would be a really, really bad idea. Ooh. Oh, boy. That's a good move. Bishop to c3, and it's defended by the pawn, meaning white can't take, but white's going to have the ability to get a queen or something else real soon. Uh-oh. Yeah, the bishop was no longer defended, meaning it was free. Ooh, we got to check. It's not looking good. Let the rook hand over here. Take. Check with the queen. Most spaces are unavailable. Check with the rook. Checkmate. One advances to the finals. Now we're gonna have an interesting game here with one versus Gordon. GG? Yes, GG's. Good games. Now, the thing with the game that's about to happen right now is the incredible difference in elo. Gordon has 860 elo. One has 1,640 elo. 41 now, or just ever. I don't want to, maybe Gordon, you have a chance of being the underdog. You could potentially win the game. If you do that, that's going to be the best thing that's ever happened to my tournament. But I don't want to put pressure on you. This is already a pretty pressureful game. Let me quickly head over. Okay, 15-minute game. We got the Sicilian defense. Gordon from Serbia. Sorry, I almost said Siberia. Gordon from Serbia is white, and then one from France is black. We got a old Sicilian defense, or variation over here. We got pawn pawn advancing. The knight heads over to f6 over here. Trying to move up here, maybe get a couple of stuff down here. But we have 10-second intervals here. I think it's fair because obviously there's a difference. You know, there's incredibly large elo difference, and so, you know, whatever makes it at least a little bit fair, I'll let it slide. So the queen heads over to e2, defending the pawn, but the knight heads over and is threatening the queen, but probably not for long because the knight can be taken. Yep, a trade of knights. We got pawn promoting. Advancing. Advancing, not promoting. No one is promoted just yet. I don't even think you could promote just yet. Okay. We got the queen head over to a5, checking the king. And white says no. Moves the bishop. But the pawn gets taken. We could have a queen trade. I think we might, but you know. If we're just going to be honest, I don't think Gordon can win this one. However, I do want to see how he plays. Just because he can't win doesn't mean he's not a good player. All right, queen trade. We got the pawn heading up. I like it when the pawns start advancing from the, 2 file because it starts getting more pieces out, gets a little more space on your side of the board. Could have a trade of pawns. I don't think it's too big of a deal. The black's bishop heads over to f5, threatening the pawn on d3. Whoa! The bishop on g2 flies over to the other side of the board on b7, threatening the rook here on a8. The rook says, no, I'm going to threaten you. And now the bishop is being under attack by the rook. Woo! What a spicy game. Now the bishop heads over to c6, checking the king. And black goes, no, I don't like that. And so the knight heads over to d7. The pawn advances to b3. And, well, not anymore, but point-wise, they were tied. The bishop takes the pawn on d3, threatening the knight on b1. Knight heads over to a3, getting out of the threat from the bishop. If Gordon wins this game, which most likely, statistically speaking, will not happen, but it's always an if. I'm even proud if Gordon doesn't win the game, because I posted online an hour before this tournament because we need an extra player, like, hey, anyone want to join? And Gordon was like, sure, yeah, why not? I got 2 hours. So Gordon literally joined like 40 minutes before the tournament started, and he's here in the finals, so I'll give it to him. Congratulations. The rook head over to c8, threatening the bishop, who is currently defenseless. I don't know how you can defend. I think you may just have to retreat, unless you go in for the trade. The bishop retreats over to b5. That would not be an even trade. Whoa! Whoa! We got a trade! Bishop's trade. And then the knight takes back on b5. One is only up by 1 currently right now. The pawn advances, threatening the knight on b5. The knight's got to move. I think it only got like 1. Oh, no. Never mind. The knight could move here. Yep, and it did, threatening the rook on c8. And then the rook heads down, threatening the knight. And the knight's kind of trapped.
Can't move here. I mean, it can, but bad idea. Wouldn't want to move here. Definitely wouldn't want to move here.
So the knight doesn't have anywhere to go.
Okay, we got the pawn.
Taking the other pawn on d4. Rook takes knight on a7. And then the pawn takes the other pawn. Okay. Never mind. I was thinking the knight would take, but no, the bishop heads over to g7. Threatening the pawn over here. That's just flying through. And there are actually 2 ways to take this pawn. Actually, technically 3, but 2 ways right now the pawn can be taken. The rook heads over to c1. Trying to get some checkmate. But no, we got a castle over here. That would have been a really cool checkmate, but sadly,
it was not meant to be.
White is currently down by 2 right now, but the bishop heads over to e3. The rook heads over to b7, threatening the pawn. We got a castle over here. The knight takes the pawn, which was completely defenseless, on e5. You might go here, pinning the knight, but then again, it would still be a trade. Trades are good and well, but when you're kind of down, I don't think it's really smart for trading, but, you know, a trade's a trade. So, ooh, now we have a pin. The king and the bishop are pinned by the knight on f3. Oh, boy. Okay. Time-wise, players are doing good. I honestly don't even think time is even a question for this. Which is kind of a disadvantage for Gordon. Because... one, in the past anyway, liked to take his time. Ooh, the knight heads over here trying to threaten the rook on c3. And the pawn, but it's, yeah. Alright, the rook heads out of danger and is now threatening the knight. The knight heads back to c3. Taking would not be a good idea because defended by the bishop on g7. Woo-hoo. Oh, boy. Guess if you really wanted to, you can move. But, no. We might have a pawn trade here, but it would not be good for black because let's check it out. Trade, boom. Bop, bop, bop. Okay, no trade. Black's bishop heads over to d4, threatening the rook on e3, while still defending the knight on c3. And so the rook heads over to g3, defending the pawn on g4. But the pawn on h5 heads down and is now threatening the rook on g3. Ah, oh, shoot!
Okay, all right. I guess right here, right? Be the best move because it's threatening the bishop. But no, because still... Oh, jeez. Alright, the rook heads over to f3. 31 moves into the game. And Gordon still has enough for a chance at checkmate. We're not down to like 2 pawns for Gordon. The pawn on e7 heads way down, probably trying to go over and threaten the rook on f3 over here. The rook on f1 heads over to e1, so that if you take the pawn, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. I probably am. I don't know. The rook heads up to f4, and the bishop heads over to e5, and we're kind of doing a little bit of a threaten again. This rook, it's getting kind of trapped. In fact, I think it is true. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Oh my gosh, why didn't I see that the knight was defending the pawn?
Why didn't I see that? Ah. What is white going to do? What would be the best move?
Would it be take? Maybe, because at least you get some sort of points.
Okay, yeah, it was take. Now, one is up by 7. We got the bishop head over to g7. Pawn heads up to g5. Probably going to get something like this. The rook, who has been standing there for over like 20 moves, finally decides, I'm going to head out, and goes to b5, threatening the pawn on g4, which is currently undefended. Now, going here with the rook would not be a good idea because of the pawn. And so white says, you know, I'm just going to go back. My king, goodbye. I do not need that pawn. And we got a pawn trade with both white and black here. And now black's rook, which took the pawn, says, hey, I'm going to threaten the rook. And so he goes over to h5. And now we could have a rook trade. Rook trade would be really bad for white because this rook is the only thing left other than pawn for white. And now another pawn is taken. White heads up to a4. I feel kind of bad because this is nowhere near a fair game. But I do have some respect for Gordon because he has survived longer than Ratatouille has in his game. We are currently at 41 moves right now. Ratatouille and 1 only was 41 moves. So you got to give credit to Gordon where credit is due. He may not be winning, but he's not doing so bad. Black has 15 minutes on the clock. If you're wondering why we have 15 minutes with 10 evaluations, so like every time you play a move, if it's like a good move according to the thing, it gives you like a couple extra seconds, I'm pretty sure, or even more minutes. The rook takes the pawn on the b file. The rook is taken for a trade. The king moves. Pawn's taken. King heads up. Pawn's heading up. Stuff is starting to speed up now. Rook heads over to b2. King heads over to g4. Pawn heads up to a5. Ah, jeepers creepers. King heads up to g5. Whoa, checked by the rook. All right. The king is starting to get some places where he cannot go. But now the rook is starting to be threatened by the king. Rook moves over to f2. Maybe right here? Right. Okay. Take. Okay. Now pawn. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You're not going to make that. Queen. And then... Ooh. Yeah, not good. Check. Check. And defended by bishop. Pawn heads up. The king's moving. Check. Oh, Gordon's trying to get a draw. Or like a stalemate. Uh-oh. Gordon's running out of spaces here. Check, check, check. Right here, right? We cannot have a draw. If we have a stalemate, which is half and half, we're going to have to do another game. The king is bouncing around the board. 66 moves currently. Uh-oh. Right here. Check. I think it's about to be checkmate. Oh! Woo! Whoa! Whoa! Getting crazy. Oh! Oh, shoot. That's game.
One has won July's chess tournament. Let me just duplicate this. Whoa, not too big. There we go. Congrats, one. GG. Good games. This is the July bracket standing. 85% accuracy. Hey, not bad. 85 and 92 accuracy. That's... I have respect. I think that was a pretty even game for most
of the game. It was quite even.
Large as possible. I can on stream. Okay, there we go.
That should be good. So, one, tell me, what was going on through your mind during the final
game against Gordon? Were you confident, nervous? Were you like, oh yeah, I'm going to win 100%, there's no doubt in my mind? No doubt?
No doubt.
So, one, now that you have joined the champions, bracket thing for the champions tournament, do you think you have a chance of winning that?
Going up against Sky, Gigaderp, and whoever wins next month's
tournament?
I'm going to destroy this Polish guy? Wow.
Skies? I don't know if you're still in the chat, but... oh, that sounds like some beef right there.
Okay.
Well, we still have one more game to go. Thank you, one, for not only being in this month's tournament, but also last month's tournament. And you still got in the finals for last month's tournament. Do you have anything to say to people that are watching that, think you're going to win? Or just to say in general, I'm going to be the champion? All right. You heard it here first. Thank you, everyone who joined July's chess tournament. And thank you, One and Gordon, for being here in the finals.